Now today we're switching gears. We are looking at right here. It's a sidecar for a 1930s Indian motorcycle. A friend of mine asked me if I'd do some sheet metal work on it because it's a very rare item and he wants to bring it back to life. So hopefully you enjoy this changing gears video. A couple different angles of the sidecar. Time to flip it over and see where the work will begin. As you can see, there's a lot to repair here. I'm going to start with the easiest parts, and then I'm going to finish with the hard parts. Wish me luck. This is definitely going to be a challenge. Before I get started, I want to show you my new t-shirts. I got some for family and friends, and I have a few left over, and I'm trying to figure out a giveaway to my subscribers. You have to be a subscriber, but I'm going to figure out a contest where you could have a free t-shirt if you're a lucky winner. Here's the back. So become a subscriber of my channel, and within the next few weeks, you may be a winner of one of my shirts. Thanks for watching. Okay, let me get down to work now. I'm going to start by repairing the dents that I can with a hammer and dolly. Okay, I'm going to start with the easy parts. I'm going to replace this first. Once I get the easy parts done, then I'll work on the sides. There's a million pinholes in it. I'm going to do this section, then I'm going to do this section. Then I'm going to work on the sides. Possibly I may do this one first. My pattern will be made out of tape. Okay, now I'm marking the tape where I'm going to cut it with a Sharpie. Then I'll cut the pattern out and place it on a piece of sheet metal, and we should be good to go. Okay, now we got to get this shape here to fit with the shape of the sidecar. And to do that, I'm using this cylinder over here. it back a little further. That works. Okay, that shape is something we can work with. And all I used was a gas bottle to make that radius. Now we're going to tack it in a few spots and clean it up. Cut the other, well, first we have to mark the other side, cut it, and then we'll bring it back and tack it on in a few spots. Okay, now we're gonna mark this side along the radius, then we're gonna take it back off and cut that. Okay. Okay, let's clean up the edges, and we'll tack it back in place. Okay, I realize we gotta cut this out first. Okay, let's lay a couple more tacks on there. Get it back in place. Okay, that's all tacked in. Now we're going to go to the rear piece. This piece here. It's our next objective. And then we'll do the sides. Like last time, we taped it up for a pattern. Now I'm going to trim it with the scissors. There's our pattern. I'll trace it out with a black marker. Remove the pattern. I want to cut that one out on the line. That's my next move. I'll cut this tab off and then we'll go over there and check it out. Okay, we're gonna throw a couple tacks in that and then we'll cut it to fit. side looks beautiful. Needs a little trimming. This side needs quite a bit of trimming. It's no big deal. We're going to do that next. Okay, let's move on to the next step. I have to give a little bit of roundness to this. So again, I'm going to press it down on my gas welding bottle. That should be enough. Under the 90 on this piece of sheet metal on my homemade brake. Anything's possible if you really want to get into it. There it is. I made a 90 piece with a little bead in it off camera because I had to learn how to do it too, and it took me quite a while. It would have made the video too long. So I did it. Now I'm getting ready to trim it along the body line. Then I got to butt weld that piece in. Like we got a dying battery. New battery. Let's go. Not nuts about wearing a helmet, but I guess I really should most of the time. A lot of times I forget, and sometimes I just don't wear it because it's a little easier to do without the helmet. But you really got to watch if you're working over your head or anything, it don't come back at you. You know, it could jam up. If you're lightly grinding something, you could hold it. But if you're really getting into it and it gets caught, boom, it's coming back at you. Be careful. Well, we're going to hook up the welder and start hitting these tacks. See, the shirt. Subscribers have a chance to win one of these babies. I have a few different sizes left in a couple different colors. I will be having a contest here in the future. I don't know, it'll be a random pick of subscribers, but I have to figure out how I have to do it. It'll be coming up in the next few videos. Stay tuned. See, this is the crap that when I butt welded it, I got rid of all this cheese. That's where it's going to go. There is a slight bead that runs along here. I was able to save it. So I won't butt weld next to it, but I'll be able to grind it, clean it up, and keep that bead right where it's at. Make the job a little easier. I'm going to clamp this back on. Okay, let's get this tacked in place. Clean this up a little more, and I'm going to call it a day. Okay, today's another day. I have a blue shirt on today, not a green one. Gonna do this patch and this one in the back. That's our goal for today. So we're gonna get started by cutting out I drew yesterday with a marker the pattern I need. Now I'll start cutting out with a pair of scissors. Gonna wipe it down, get the oil off it. Okay, we're gonna stick the pattern on there. Let's see. Okay, now we'll draw it out. Okay, there she is. Now we gotta cut it out. I placed this cutter in my vise so I could use it upside down and feed the metal into it rather than push it through the metal. Works good. Clean this piece up a bit. Okay, that's where we gotta cut, not this line. But I want to take this rivet out first. So that's my next move. Okay, the rivet is out. We gotta put that back in after we get this piece ready. Okay, we're gonna hit patch number 2 now for the day. I'm gonna transfer it over and cut it. Place it on our sheet metal. Trace it up. I don't think the camera was on when I cut that piece out. So I'm just going to show you a little piece here, how easy this thing cuts it. This tool, upside down in the vise, is much easier than holding it by hand to try to cut something like this out. Okay, we're going to flatten this and we're going to get it started going into the car, or into the sidecar. Once I fit this on the sidecar, I have to run a bead along here. So I'm going to trim this up, get it ready, and then we together will run the bead on there. A bit of a disclaimer. I'm not really a bead rolling guy, but I want to learn how to do it for future projects. And one thing I found out, you could use these in pairs, the dies, or you could mix and match them to do what you think you're trying to achieve. So that's kind of what I'm doing on this. It's a very slight bead, and I'm doing it the way I believe it should be done, and it's working. So we're going to give it a shot again on this one and see how it goes. But like, I'm new to a lot of this metal shaping stuff, believe it or not. I mean, I did work in a sheet metal shop for a little while, but it wasn't an automotive sheet metal shop. And but what I do is just try to cut out the bad and replace it with good. And that's where I'm heading. Okay. I've been talking to the camera and it wasn't even on. I did get the bead in this what I wanted. I'm going to run it again just to show you what I did. I drew a line for the center of the bead I want. And I'm going to keep that on my offset. And we're going to roll it in there. We're going to put a little downward pressure on this thing to keep it flat. I'm pressing down that way. Now we're gonna Okay, now we're going to mark it with the marker, take that piece back off, cut the old piece out, and then tack weld this in. Actually, might be able to cut that out in place. We're going to give it a shot. I was able to grab that piece out where I cut it. Wasn't connected at the top. Now we can tack weld this in.